class, let's continue from the part 1, okay, where we stop. So if I play this animation, okay, you can see that you have 4 different colors and it is animating in the pie chart. Okay, so let's continue with the next section, which is how to create the info, okay, and with the expression controls. Right, so now what we want to do is to create the line and also how to create the point, okay, for each section from this pie chart. So before we create the line, make sure that you click anywhere in the timeline panel, okay, so that none of these layers is selected, okay, just to make sure that none of these layers is being selected. Just click anywhere in the timeline. Okay, then you can create the line using the pen tool. Alright, so before you create the pen tool, make sure that you check the stroke. Okay, so the stroke color the stroke option will be in a solid color. Okay, and you can change the value from 130 to maybe 2. Okay, the value. And then for fill color, I want you to choose none. Okay, because we do not want to have any fill color for the line. Alright, so now let's say I want to add line for this green section. Okay, so this is the line. Right, so now you can see we have one line with white color. Okay, with white color, and the value is 2. So you can rename this as line. Okay, and then we can add trim path to this line. Alright, so before you add the trim path, I want you to find, okay, where is the complete area, okay, before we add this line. Right, so you move your header until you find, okay, in which frames that this animation will be completed. So should be everyone is until 3 seconds, then this animation will complete. Okay, so meaning that after the animation complete, then you will have this line. Alright, so you click in the line and then you can add the trim path. Okay, so you expand the line layer, and then here inside the content, okay, you have add and you can choose trim path. Okay, and then you drop the trim path, and then for the end you will add 1 keyframe. So this end should be 100. Alright, so supposedly for this end the value is 0, okay, because we don't want to see the line. And then when it goes to a few seconds in here, right, then you can add another 1 keyframe. So here you will have complete trim path. Okay, so if I play the header, okay, once your animation is complete, then you can see the line. Right, so that's how to create line using the trim path animation. Then next we can add the point. Okay, so you can close this line and then make sure that you click anywhere in the timeline, okay, before you create the point, the small point, so you can use the ellipse tool. Okay, so for this circle, I want to use a solid color, but I don't want any stroke. Okay, so you choose none for the stroke and for the fill with white color. Right, you can press shift so that you will have a perfect circle. Okay, for the point, so this is your small point. So for this point, I want to add opacity. Okay, so that this point will appear when your line is complete approximately after 3:14. Okay, so this is will be based on your timeline. Okay, for mine it's at 3:14, then I can see this um, point. Alright, so I will name this as point. Okay, because I want to add the opacity, then I will type T. Okay, T for opacity. Okay, so for the first opacity, this will be 0 because I don't want to see the circle, but then in a few frames I will add another keyframes, and this one will be 100. Okay, so if I press the header, you can see the line, and then right after that you will see the point, okay, to show the information based on this green section. Right, so that's how to create the info site. Okay, where we have create the line with the trim parts, and then how to create the circle as a point that show your information. And then after that we need to add two different tags for 100 and the percentage. Okay, so remember to click anywhere before you start choosing the text layer, the type tool. Okay, click anywhere so that none of these layers is selected. So now you click on the T. Okay, just one click in the canvas and you type 100. You can change the font, okay, in this character panel, and this is for the color. Right, so make it center. Okay, then the next text is percentage. Okay, so to make sure that both of these is aligned correctly at the bottom, you can select from the layer. Okay, you can select the percentage, and when you press the shift, you can click the 100, and then in the align panel you can choose this one, align bottom. Okay, so just to make sure that both of these is aligned correctly. Okay. Right, so now we have add two tags for 100 and the percentage. Okay, so now let's continue with the expression control. Okay, so how to create the expression control? So first you need to select the 100 text layer for 100, and then you right click, you choose effect and expression controls, and then you choose slider control. Right, so you right click on the 100 layer, okay, effect, and then expression controls and slider control. Okay, so now you have add slider control into this layer 100. Right, then after that I want you to expand this 100. Okay, you can see the text layer. Okay, you have the source text, and then after that you need to parent link to effects, slider, control, slider. So meaning that first you have to open the effects, slider, control, and slider. So you can see that this is effect. Okay, here you have effect, slider, control, and slider. So what you need to do is this is the parent. Okay, you click on the parent and make sure that you link this parent to the slider. Okay, and you can see that the number changed from 100 to 0. So once you have done that, and then still in the 100 layer, okay, you need to open the source text and type this syntax. Okay, so in the source text, okay, if you drop down this source text, then you can see, okay, this is the coding. You have to click on this area. Okay, again, let me zoom in this one. In the text, if you drop down the source text, then you can see the expression. So in the timeline, you will have, because I have already typed this, so that's why you can see this in my timeline. Okay, so what you need to type is math.round. Okay, so you have to type math.round. Okay, you can choose from here and then press enter. And then inside the bracket, okay, it will be effect, and then you press enter again. Inside the effect bracket, inverted comma. Okay, press shift and then you press the inverted comma. And then the next one is slider control. You can see this one, then you press enter. Then next is you go out. Okay, go out here. Right, and then the next coding is another bracket. Okay, and then inverted comma, and inside you will have slider. Okay, so make sure that you type this correctly. Math.round, in bracket effect, in bracket inverted comma, slider control, and then another bracket inverted comma, slider. Okay, make sure that you write this syntax correctly, or else you get an error. Okay, so done with the syntax. Now I want you to select the layer 100. Okay, so you select the layer 100, and then you need to open the effect control. Okay, so this is the effect control. So if you close this, okay, you select the 100, and then in the project panel, okay, you will see this effect control. If this is not appear in your project panel, you can go to the effect and then choose effect control, but make sure that you select layer 100. Okay, then after that you need to add a keyframe in the effect control. Okay, so how to do that? In the effect slider control, you need to move your slider. Okay, move the header to complete circle. So what I mean by here, okay, make sure that you move your header until it reach where the circle is complete. Okay, somewhere here, right? And then in the effect slider control, you will click this stopwatch. Okay, so you have one keyframe over here, right? And then you will change the slider to 100. Okay, you change this to 100, then from 0 your number now change to 100. Okay, then after that you move this to the 0, okay, to the 0 frames, and you will add another one keyframe, and from 100 you will put 0%. Okay, so when you press the space bar, okay, you can see that the numbers is changing when the circles is complete, and then once it's completed, then you have the 100%, 100 percent in the canvas. Alright, so that's how to create the expression control.